Hey, Lin, how are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'd like to introduce Lin to everyone here. Lin is the director of open source at solo.io. Today she'll be having a talk called A Guided Tour of Ambient Mesh, specifically Istio Ambient Mesh. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Istio.
Istio.
It's the Greek words for sailing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's just start high level. Let's just start with kind of who you are, what led you to getting into this space of open source, and why is open source a focus for you?
Yeah, like you said, I work at Solo. I'm leading the open source team at Solo. I've been working for Solo for 2 years. Prior to joining Solo, I worked at IBM for almost 20 years. I was hitting my 20 years mark. Then I decided, why not join a startup company? So when I joined Solo, it's like 30 people. Yeah, I have a pretty long history with open source. I actually was working on open source, started from Apache Geronimo and Apache Aries, different type of open source projects, and then most recent, the Istio project. I find working in open source really, really interesting that I got to interact with people outside of my company and also getting like different perspective and see people from different company collaborate on the same project and same similar vision. I wouldn't say it's always the same vision, but overall, the high level, it's very similar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So like also kind of at a very high level. So I know kind of Istio meshes, ambient meshes are kind of your thing. So what are service meshes and what problem do they kind of solve?
Yeah, so as developers moving their applications to cloud native, to run on Kubernetes, there's a set of new challenges arrive, right? Because it used to be like a gigantic monolithic application. As they break that monolithic application to microservices, they need to figure out how to observe the connectivity, how to handle traffic policies, how to shift a particular version to a percentage to a new version, how to secure the communication of the microservices. Mm-hmm. So Service Mesh is designed to solve that problem. Instead of asking each individual developers to solve these problems in their application, Service Mesh provides a programmer way for like a, kind of take it higher level to the operator level to solve these connect, secure, and observe problems for developers, so they don't have to worry about solving it. And also the operator can kind of solve it in a consistent way provided by the mesh.
Yeah, it's almost like a shadow IT, almost kind of like you don't have to have a like physical person to be drawing these streams and securing certain things. Instead, it's already a programmable way to make sure that communication is secure, things go where they need to go, and things of that nature. Am I right?
Yeah, that is exactly right. It's like the mesh provides you the framework, and it's language agnostic. So regardless of what programming languages you have, and they also solve it consistently, right? Because if you ask each developer to do their own thing, most likely their metrics is not going to be the same. Maybe they handle mutual TLS differently, and maybe they forgot to rotate their certificate after, as every certain intervals.
Yeah, it definitely prevents nightmares, right? Yeah. So again, kind of at a high level, specifically, I want to talk about Istio ambient meshes and how they work.
Yeah, Istio Ambient Mesh is something we're really, really excited about. Initially, Solo and Google partner work together in the community to introduce a new data plane type to the Istio project without needing of sidecar. We've heard a lot of complexity from our users about dragging that sidecar as a baggage I'm dragging right now. Yeah. It's kind of, overwhelming a lot of times and also feel unnecessary because that sidecar consumes a lot of resources. It needs to manage and it's intrusive to your application. So what Istio Ambient Mesh is really providing is the ability to run your application in the service mesh without the sidecar. So it's really cool. The other thing I would highlight that's an innovation in ambient mesh would be allow user to adopt the mesh more gradually.
Okay.
Because it used to be you drag the sidecar as my baggage right now, regardless whether you just need the connect feature or secure feature or observe feature, you have to drag the sidecar. But with ambient, we kind of break down to the secure overlay layer and also the layer 7 processing layer. So if you just need a secure overlay layer, you don't have to pay the cost for the layer 7 processing layer, which is very cool.
That is cool. That is cool. So for anyone wanting to work with service meshes or Istio specifically, is there a best practice or something that would help them out the most?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Istio IO documents are pretty well documented. I would follow up the task and guides to get a hands-on yourself. At Solo, we also do Solo Academy, which provides free trainings for user and the environments, so that could be useful. I did also read a couple of Istio books to help people get started with Istio. While I was at IBM, I wrote Istio Explained, which is a 70-page book. You can easily get started with Istio. And most recently, I wrote Istio Ambient Explained with Christian Posta while I work at Solo. So it's really helped people to get started, understand Istio. I would say adapt Istio, focus on what you exactly need and not go over like every single process, because you could get really overwhelmed with that. So focus on what's the most important feature you need and gradually adopt Istio and see the value Istio is providing to you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Where can the ATO community specifically learn more about you, the topics of service meshes and Istio, and kind of what you're working on or what you're kind of doing in the moment?
Yeah, so I'm hanging out on slack.istio.io. So that's our Istio community. In there, I'm very active in the ambient and ambient development channel. So definitely find me there. I'm also out on the Solo community. If folks are interested, find me there. My Twitter handler is Lin Sun _UNC.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Lin.
Thanks so much for the chat.
Nice, man.